the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to another DCAU update. And once again, we're going to be going back into the library of this amazing animated series of films and take a look at one of the few that I still had yet to review for you before I started this little segment on my channel. And of course, if you've been watching my monthly updates and you've been hearing me raving about comic books, particularly a specific superhero named Green Lantern, there's no surprise that I was going to review the second of the Green Lantern films in this library, which was actually getting everybody ready for the 2011 Green Lantern film starring Ryan Reynolds. Say what you will about that film, I have a soft spot for it, and we're going to be talking about Green Lantern Emerald Knights. This time with the voice cast including Nathan Fillion as Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, who pretty much is Hal Jordan in my world. Also Jason Isaacs as Sinestro, a very unknown at the time Elizabeth Moss as Arisia, as well as probably the biggest surprise, the WWF superstar, the late Rowdy Roddy Piper as Bulfunga the Unrelenting. So this movie is a story that is actually 6 stories interwoven about Green Lantern lore. And Jeff Johns, actually, who had given us the Blackest Night story in comic books, which is one of the greatest things ever written, gives us a lot of his own lore within these stories. And basically, the main story revolves around Arisia as a rookie Green Lantern who is off with the rest of the Corps to try and stave off one of the greatest nemeses of the Green Lantern Corps, and that, of course, is Krona. Krona, in the comics, was a renegade guardian who went back in time to see the creation of the universe and created the antimatter universe. And in Blackest Night, Krona has a massive role to play. But as the Green Lanterns are waiting, we hear some stories about other Green Lanterns. We see the beginnings of Kilowog, who is voiced by the great Henry Rollins, and seeing how he went through his own training. We also see Mogo with the character of Bulfunga the Unrelenting, which is probably one of the funniest stories in the group. We also see the story of the First Lantern, which is probably one of my personal favorites, and we also see the story of one of the most mysterious Green Lanterns, and that, of course, is Lyra. That is probably one of the most beautifully told, beautifully animated stories in the bunch. We also get a great story from Sinestro, which is right out of the page of the Blackest Night itself, even giving us the Blackest Night prophecy. And even though I had not read Blackest Night when I actually saw this movie, because I saw it on day one after it came out on DVD, loved seeing the story, but now that I've actually read the whole comic series of Blackest Night, this just hit home for me in so many different ways. It's definitely got some positive moments, it's got some funny moments, some very dramatic moments, as I said, beautifully animated, very powerful music to back it up, but it's not one of the strongest movies in the bunch. And it's so funny because I said the same thing about another movie in this library that had 6 interlocking films, and that was Batman Gotham Knight. Maybe it's just because of the fact that I don't really care much for that kind of storytelling. But either way, I'm not going to say that this is the worst one because I have seen all of these films. I own them all. They're like Disney films to me. There's getting to the point where there's going to probably be more of these next to Disney Canon Classics in about 2 years or something. That's just insane. But there's definitely better ones than Green Lantern Emerald Knights, but there are certainly worse ones than Emerald Knights. So if you are a Green Lantern fan like myself, chances are you're just going to appreciate the overall lore that you get in this story, and it definitely has some great high points, but it's definitely not going to be the best one that you will ever see. And yes, even as a Green Lantern fan, I will not deny the fact that this movie does have faults, and it is far from perfect. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Please leave your comments in the box below and let's discuss. And I'm looking forward to next month when we take a look at the newest installment in the DC Animated Universe library. And I'm really hoping that this one is a good one because it is going to wrap up a massive storyline in this library. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.